Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015 whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the you in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy,
where we give you the courtesy of conversation
that's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Hey, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to catch us on our other shows, Plays and Parlays, UFC with LT, Civil Discourse, and The Friday Fix. Hola, Senior Wesley.
What up, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. It's crazy how we predicted the world would end. It's crazy that we're going to show it to you in HD and 4K, but here we are.
I mean, there's several different stories we really been talking about. We always kind of chop it up off air. People don't really understand. Like me and D-Mac, we might jab at each other a lot, but we fuck with, excuse my language, we mess with each other. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's just my guy, more or less.
Yeah,
but
we have long conversations before we even start this, and we're trying to decide what we can bring to you.
But let me ask you this. I know you had just said something about, not to get too deep into what you do, but I know you said that just with this whole government shutdown, you've seen effects just in your own, workplace over these government shutdowns. We're from a military town. We have like 4 military bases, like in a 5 mile, 10 mile radius of each other, right around us. It's a pretty, you know what I mean?
And they're naval bases, right, ladies and gentlemen. And so the thing is, the number one employer where we live at is the shipyard. This is where a lot of people work at. This is a lot of people retire from the military here, and then they go work at the yard. A lot of people turn 18, they go work at the yard. It's like the coal mine of our town. So with the government shutdown, we're feeling the ramifications. Like I had a comedy show, and we were telling all the federal workers, we're like, hey man, if you can't just show us your badge, we'll let you in for free. But like I was telling Wes, like we've brought this up before, it starts to it's going to affect our community. Like people aren't stopping at these little coffee stands to get coffee. People aren't going out to eat like that. They're not stopping at bars to have a drink. They're not even going out for lunch to eat. So it's going to affect everything in our community. You know what I'm saying? And for what?
Stores, because stores around you.
Let people have affordable health care.
Yeah, it's a tough story. We really wanted to give you guys that story, but at least want to touch on it and let you guys know that we do feel your pain. We see you out there, and we're in lockstep with each other. We really hope this gets over with, because we know there's a lot of people out there who depend on government services. And this isn't to say people who don't have jobs. People who have jobs depend on government services because they don't get paid enough. This is just a fact. We all know this. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that we're still here, and we're in lockstep with you, and we're basically holding it down for y'all as well. But go ahead, D-Mac. I know you got to.
Yes. And so I want to point out a couple of things that's going on. I mean, there's a lot of ICE activity around the country, and I just want to point out a couple of things they're doing right now. ICE stockpiling warheads and chemical weapons as lawmakers fear Trump planning strike. The number of weapons bought by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement have reportedly surged 700% under President Donald Trump, and even including chemical agents and warheads. Federal purchases log shows ICE spent $71 million on small arms, ordinances, and accessories, including military supplies, weapons, ammunition, and in the 9 months between January 20th and October 18th. This is up from the $9 million over the same period in 2024, according to analysts by Popular Information. This September 29th, alone, $98,590 was spent with rifle maker Giselle Automatics. Popular Information says most of the spending was on armor and guns, but there was also significant purchases of chemical weapons and guided missile warheads and explosive components. The figure dwarfs weapon purchases during the Biden administration or Trump's first term. When comparable through October, outlays averaged around $8.4 million, according to Popular Information. The outlet noted that the dates likely understate new spending in weaponry deployed in the Trump administration immigration crackdown, since many other federal agencies beyond ICE have been involved. And I'm pointing this out too, right? The Department of Homeland Security is only allowed to operate in America. The only place, the only people that can go across the border and do stuff is the DEA. So who are you buying? You're buying chemical weapons, right? And you're buying guided missile warheads. to strike who? Americans.
So like, what did Trump come out and say when he spoke with all the, the generals and admirals they had come out, when him and Pete Hegseth had the huge come to us moment, pick your side moment. What did he tell them? He said, we would like to start practicing our tactics, our war tactics on American citizens in American cities. He's already told you what his plan is. It's already set in stone. He's showing us right now. He's already doing it. He's already gone into DC. He's already gone into Chicago, gone into LA. You know what I mean? I think they're in Memphis right now as well, too. They're
going to Portland right now. They're trying to make it towards Seattle. And think about it, folks. I told everybody, and you ain't got to listen to me because it's a little too late now, but you can now. And I told you need to stock up on canned food, water, guns, and ammunition because they're coming for you. Matt, I was.
Did you hear about during the day before the No Kings, all the no Kings protests that they sent, they sent off test missiles?
Yes.
In California. What is this?
Check it out. They wanted the freeway open, and Gavin Newsom said, "No, we're going to close the freeway because that's dangerous. Somebody can get hurt." And they were upset that the freeway wasn't open. And one of the shrapnels, something happened with one of the munitions they fired, and shrapnel hit JD Vance's car and hit 2 security vehicles. You know what I'm saying? And there could have been American citizens on this freeway. But Gavin Newsom,
would you want them to see that though? I mean, why would you want Americans? It seems like to me, it's more about them trying to threaten, them trying to scare them. It's a scare tactic more than anything else. Hey, we want them to show. We want to show these people what we could do to you. Like you see when he made the little AI thing of him flying over. Like we're in a childish time frame right now, man. And this is when you allow children to buy these type of weaponry. Chemical weapons are against even international law bans chemical weapons. International law. That means you can't use them in war. I mean, it's a war crime. So you're buying chemical weapons for what purpose?
So the whole thing I'd say to that, Wes, is what did America let happen to Gaza and the people of Palestine?
Absolutely.
They still let Netanyahu has a warrant, a warrant out from the UN, right? You know what I'm saying?
He has, I think it's the ICC International.
ICC, okay, yeah. And he's still allowed to travel to and from America. Now,
like that.
The rest of the world, they can stop Israel. They might have to beef with, but who's going to stop America from killing Americans? Nobody. And I was hanging out with this lady friend of mine a couple Saturdays ago, and she pointed out pretty good. I've never thought of it. She's like, look, this is really a battle between good and evil. Mm-hmm. Some people are like, hey, I want to snatch other people off the street, chain them up, and have you seen the pictures where they have them, they're tying them up like how they do alligators, taping them all up on their legs and their arms.
Did you see the suit that they'll make, the immigration transportation suits? It's full body. They have a suit that goes from here all the way down to your body. You cannot move. They take them out on flights this way. I mean, these are people who haven't even committed a crime, who just working at their jobs probably a few months ago or a week or two ago.
These are human beings, regardless if you can't understand what they're saying because they speak a different language. These people are human beings. And the people that are rounding them up are only thinking of different ways to make their lives worse and torture them. They made alligator Alcatraz where they didn't even have proper, sewage. And if you ran out, remember, all those people are missing. Where'd they go? You know what I'm saying? Yep. You're chasing people down in the streets. Missing. You're pointing guns at U.S. citizens. You're snatching people up without warrants.
You know what I'm saying? No, to countries that they're not from.
And the people are cheering it on like, yeah, do it. Soon they're just going to start doing public executions live on TV. You want to know why?
Because we'll cheer that on as well.
And people take enjoyment in this. They're like, oh, yes, I love it. This is what I voted for. That's an evil mindset. This kind of evil that's there. They don't care about anybody else but themselves. They want to watch everyone else hurt. So it's a difference between good and evil at this point. And, the sides are drawn. You know what I'm saying? And people have been saying, the only way you're going to get out of this is violence with violence. Peace is never won over hate in this country. I've never seen it. Show me when. Show me an example.
What they'll say is like they'll try to bring up probably civil rights. They'll say, oh, that was a peaceful protest. That was XYZ. What you did is what they did mostly is attack their money. That's what it wasn't peaceful on both sides. This is not to say there was peace. There was peace on both sides.
They said, someone said this. They're like, they said that back during the civil rights movement, they thought the black folks thought that if they showed that they weren't dangerous, that they weren't scary, and they marched peacefully, the people would see them as human. But you have to, you have to realize that your enemy doesn't have any empathy. You know what I'm saying? So they don't look at you as a human. They look at you as a piece of shit. They don't look at you as a person. So that's why they can spray you with hoses at full blast. That's why they can sick dogs on you, beat you in the streets, hang you from a bridge, and have a picnic right during it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And blow up your kids and kill them because they don't have any empathy. You have to understand the monsters you're dealing with. And I blame the Democratic Party once again because they know it. But the Democratic Party are racist sympathizers because they are them. Those are no. At the end of the day, Wes, let me cook. At the end of the day, those are their friends. That's their family members. That's their friends. Because you'll see somebody they'll be a Republican, right? They'll be racist as hell. You'll be like, damn, he said some racist stuff. Then they'll be like, well, now I don't like Trump. They'll be like, come on over to the Democratic side. And I'm like, this dude just called everybody N-word, F-words, all kind of, but he's cool to come over because he looks like you. That's why you didn't see a whole bunch of black folks at the No Kings protest. Nah. This y'all mess. Clean it up because they're gonna come after us. They haven't stopped.
I think that's the worst strategy that we could possibly I'm not saying
right now, Wes. There's no strategy.
I think the strategy that a lot of black people, obviously not just from you. This is not just from you. So this is not a pointing the finger at you. This is an open conversation. I've seen a lot of black people who have the same exact sentiment. So that means your sentiment is shared by a lot of people, which it's factual. But I feel like at the end of the day, we see things like this right here where they're buying, like you said, they're buying guided missiles. They're buying chemical weapons. They're arming their troops. You think they're only going after certain people? This man said, I think it was, what was his name? Vic Mensa, or he's a rapper.
Yeah,
that might be his name. Yeah, he came out. Yeah. He said, he was like, black people, man, we got to understand that at the end of the day, they might. He said he heard a black dude when they were snatching up black people during this whole immigration race. Black dude was like, I thought y'all was going after Mexicans. Thought y'all was supposed to be going after Mexicans. I've heard black people say similar things and try like, hey, wait till, let me finish this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait till Trump comes and gets you guys, XYZ. I heard them say the same exact thing. But what I also know is this doesn't stop with them. We are right there in line with all of this. This will always affect us. So when there's any injustice in this country, it will always come back to roost. Do not get it twisted. That's why I'm always ready to ride for any type of injustice because I know they're coming after us next. This is really about us. They just have to go about it this way because everybody can point a finger. It doesn't look so bad if they point a finger at who they think everyone hates the most. And I'm not playing that game. I think that's a horrible strategy.
We've always been the target. We're always going to be the target. But at this point in time, someone else is going to have to show and prove because we already know it's coming for us. You know what I'm saying? And you saw what happened in the Montgomery brawl. People don't understand about black folks, bro. It's like we hold back a lot. Let's just see an example. You saw somebody you really liked and, they were murdered on TV and you felt some type of way. You know what I'm saying? And I see people that look like me get murdered all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not desensitized to it. It's just you can keep poking the bear, but you don't understand that, like, for example, a little white girl was traveling across America. She got killed by her boyfriend. They made documentaries and Hulu films and all kind of stuff about her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a tragedy. They're still crying about JonBenet Ramsey. I watch people like me get killed every day. And now it's going to get to the point where now you want to try to bring back slavery and, enslave us and treat us like it's the 60s because it ain't. We have a lot of built up anger. That's why we sit around and we joke around so much. Because if you sit there and dwell on all the hatred and racism you have to take as a black person, it'll drive you mad and you'll start murdering people for no reason. So, I mean, if you want to unleash that on yourself, because most people you don't understand. Yeah, you may get us all. Let's just say it. You may get us all. But you can't take that loss. You can't take that loss.
Absolutely. Cattle ranchers tearing to Trump as anger grows over Argentina beef plan. American cattle ranchers are turning against President Donald Trump over his plan to import Argentine beef, warning that the measure, which is meant to curb record high prices, will harm domestic producers. Cattlemen and women cannot stand behind President Trump while he undercuts the future of many family farmers and ranchers by importing Argentinian beef, the National Cattlemen's Beef Association wrote on X Wednesday. The trade group, the largest representing ranchers and beef producers in the U.S., said it was imperative that Trump and Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins let cattle markets work without interference. Intended as a means of tackling the U.S. sky-high beef prices while also supporting Argentina's economy and its president, Javier Milei. Trump's proposal has drawn intense criticism from American cattle workers who worry it will undercut domestic competitiveness while doing little to lower consumer costs. The plan, which remains in its preliminary stages and faces a number of hurdles, has also endangered a rare split on Capitol Hill. A handful of Republican lawmakers from farming states have voiced their opposition, arguing that the proposal contradicts the president's own America First agenda. Last week, Trump said the administration was working to lower the prices of beef, which soared to another record high in the Labor Department's latest inflation reading, telling reporters that he was close to a deal on beef. When asked for clarification on Sunday, the president said the U.S. was considering importing some beef from Argentina, and that this would bring our beef prices down. The proposal led to immediate pushback from cattle ranchers. John Boyd, a farmer and founder of the National Black Farmers Association, told Newsweek he was appalled that the president would support Argentinian agriculture over U.S. ranchers. Justin Tupper, the president of U.S. Cattlemen's Association, told Newsweek the plan weakens our industry's foundation and undermines rural America. Yeah, this is a serious situation, because this all kind of goes into the same pot as, why is the president of the United States at any time giving Argentina, they're just not giving them $20 billion. They're helping to basically prop up their currency, because they're at a place of collapse right now. They're not only looking at giving them $20 to $40 billion as aid. This will be only the third time in our history that we've ever done something like this. Intervened. Yeah. Go ahead.
Remember, he came out and he was like, yeah, we're only going to do it if, my friend gets reelected. If he doesn't, we ain't going to do it.
I mean, this is a right wing. This is a person who's basically trying to prop me. What they'll do is they'll compare this to Ukraine, which is a way different situation for a number of different reasons. But let's just look at the three things that's going on here. You're giving them billions of American dollars. You're looking at buying. You allow them to go make deals on soybeans after you've decimated our soybean, farmers here in the United States. You've allowed them to go make deals with China, which will basically have them buying the soybeans that we could have gotten. Our ranchers, our farmers could have sold to China. Now you're about to start buying their beef, which we hear might have hoof and mouth, or whatever it is, disease in the beef. It's a possibility. Why are we even looking at buying something? We destroyed millions and millions of chickens over possibility of having the bird flu in our own country. Why would we take the risk of buying beef from a country who's dealing with that problem? What doesn't make any sense to me. This is getting to a point to where we have to start looking at there's other reasons. I'm hearing that there's a lot of stuff. People have gone on my page and put down that he has business dealings in Argentina. A lot of business dealings. He has people who have donated money to him, have huge business dealings in Argentina, and this will help them. We also have to look at where these people from Argentina, a lot of them come from. A lot of Argentinian people came from Germany during a very, very sensitive time in our history, which was World War II. Everyone knows that a number of Germans, Nazi Germans, fled to Argentina. I mean, so we have to kind of look at these things and kind of take them into effect. We have Peter Thiel, who's basically sitting right there, right next to the throne, head of Palantir, who is a German himself. Who's to say if he has any say-so over what's going on with this situation? We have to pay attention to these small things. These are all like breadcrumbs that lead back to who this person is. Everything about this president is about corruption and what he can get for him. It's not about anything or anyone else. He does not care about American citizens. He never has, and he never will.
I think, people, we would sit here and be like, why would he be doing that to the farmers? He must be an idiot. He must be stupid. Everything they're doing right now is cold and calculated. Every last thing. So I'm not going to even let them sit there and play the dumb role. They know about the soybeans. You know what I'm saying? They know about the cattle. And what's going on with cattle is that they've been backlogged. We've been backlogged with cattle for a while, right? So the cattle prices are up because they're having trouble. The USDA, they're not allowed to sell the beef locally. They have to take them to select slaughterhouses, and then the slaughterhouses are backed up. You know what I'm saying? And before, what happened, a lot of people thought something was supposed to happen. So a lot of people took their meat and slaughtered it ahead of time. And so now they're trying to restock up on their cattle. But him shipping the stuff in, you know what I'm saying? It's calculated. If I can think about it, if I can get all these farmers to sell all this land to me, right? And if I own the food, I own your food. I own the way you get your packages. I own the way you get your groceries. I own the way you talk on the phone. I own the social media that you get to use. I own you. That's the point. It's a consolidation of power.
there was something that a guy made. He said, if you look at it too, this could be this may just be a conspiracy, but this may be, but I feel like it has a little bit of a slight bit of merit to it. A lot of these soybean farmers went out and they acquired hundreds and hundreds of acres of land, maybe even thousands of acres of land to plant soybeans, because China was coming in and they were spending, billions and billions of dollars buying soybeans. It was lucrative. They were looking at the price of soybeans. Oh, if I grew more, it's business. It's American. It's the American way. You grow your business. You may take out loans or whatever. You grow your business and you create jobs and you do a number of other things. They did that, right? And so now they're saying, hey, maybe this is a way for these banks and these, all these financial institutions to kind of like cut their legs out from under them. A lot of these guys, you said like 77 of them per day are going bankrupt right now. They're going bankrupt. They're losing their farms. And he said also that, when you look at it, a lot of what's happening now, they said that our economy would have only grown by like 0.1% if it weren't for data centers. These data centers are normally about 300 acres. This is about the size of every soybean. This is what they were averaging that people were buying in a soybean. They said these data centers are about 300 acres big, and that they need land and they need water. What does a farm have?
Land and water.
You get what I'm saying? So,
and I saw a report too where they're saying people where these data centers are, the surrounding neighborhoods. First of all, it's going to cut into your water, and then also your over the next 3 years, your electricity bill is going to go up about 70%. Yeah, because you gotta pay for the data centers.
You're gonna get sick. Yeah, I mean these places aren't clean. They may say, oh, they have a low, pollution or low. No, this stuff is pumping out pollution, whether it's in the air, in the water. They're pushing this stuff out. I mean, so this is
when the data centers come in, what it's doing. They're job killers.
Absolutely.
The more robots, think about it, they're trying to pay people right now $150 an hour so a robot can come in your house and watch you cook and clean, so it can take your job. Because the more robot, think about it, they have the one picture of the robot. I think it was, I don't know if it was I think it was in China or in Germany, one of the two. The robot's been working for like a couple years now, like 10 months, nonstop.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, it's the first of its kind that had done that right there.
Yeah.
They also said, I think Amazon came out and said they're about to replace 600,000 workers.
Yeah.
They're looking to replace 600,000 workers.
I worked at Amazon and I knew what they were doing. When you go into there, they have the floor set up, and the way that they move things around, it's all moved around to set up to be so robots can do it. The whole thing, they have all their vans, they have cameras all around them. They're mapping the whole time they're driving to see how to get in and out of places with these trucks, so robots can drop off your packages.
They're already doing drones. They're already doing drone drops already. It's already happening. I mean,
they're gonna say, hey, it's going to be, and think about it, they're just going to lower the price a couple dollars. You'd be like, oh, I'm saving money because now they ain't got to pay nobody to do it. Think about it, like a lot of these jobs are going to be lost. And a lot of people, I mean, even right now, like we're people are sitting around, man, what am I going to do? There's no money. The government shut down. It's going to get worse, ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. That's just what it is. It's going to get worse. But I don't think we'll have to wait that long, Wes.
I mean, we're already here. It's already happening right around us. Why tell me why?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, NASA quietly deploys planetary defense tools after interstellar visitors show odd light behavior. NASA has quietly made a major move to defend the planet after the mysterious interstellar object displayed more strange and unexplained behavior. The supposed comet, dubbed 3i Atlas, has been added to the list of threats tracked by United Nations endorsed group focused on planetary defense against near-Earth objects. The International Asteroid Warning Network, IAWN, works alongside institutions across the world to detect, track, and study near-Earth objects, NEOs, to assess potential impact threats to Earth. 3i Atlas is the first interstellar object ever added to the list, triggering a worldwide drill aimed at improving detection skills for space rockets preparing Earth for a potential incoming threat. On Tuesday, officials with IAWN admitted that the object was causing unique challenges for predicting its trajectory and decided to add 3i Atlas to the Comet Astronomer campaign. The object has displayed several unusual features that defy the typical behavior of a comet, including an anti-tail, a jet of particles that points towards the sun rather than away from it. According to the release, scientists will be running a special training exercise from November 27th, 2025 to January 27, 2026. Telescopes and tracking systems around the world will focus on 3i Atlas to refine methods for pinpointing its exact location in the sky. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a spaceship. Like I said before, they said we don't know which way it's going. We can't predict it because they can predict the comet. They can predict an asteroid because they know it's going just straight ahead. This ship has. I told you it was a spaceship.
I saw this picture of it on this guy's page, on my Facebook page, man, and it looked like not just one. It looked like a fleet. You can't see it. Maybe the picture was who knows, but it looked like a bunch of different, and they're saying that, it doesn't have a tail. I mean, every time just from when I've been a small kid, every time you see any picture of any kind of comet or anything, it always has a tail on it. All of them do. You have some type of, it's normal, even in movies. It's crazy. I mean, this is a serious situation. They're saying that they don't right now. They're saying they can't find it, and it's harder to find the sky because it's going around the sun or something like that. Or
so what happened? It's in front of the sun, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, it's in front of the sun. So the telescopes point at it. They're like, "Oh, I can't see nothing." It's deliberately there so you can't see how close or far away it is. So by the time it could just roll up on us, you know what I'm saying? It's a spaceship. There's other small ships around it. It has a propulsion system, and it's here. As soon as it came around Mars, they shut down all the stuff so you couldn't watch it. They're watching it, but they shut it down so you couldn't see it. They had one video of it, and you can see it twirling, mobbing through. You know what I'm saying? It's a spaceship. It's an alien spaceship.
Did you hear that we have this is not the same subject, but we have a second moon.
Second moon? Yeah.
All this stuff happening right now. And then we got think about the hit. All this is just too much, man. Too many different coincidences are happening at one time, man. For this not to be something strange, it goes against our even our gravitation, even our rotation. Everything in our solar system rotates in one kind of a manner. This is going against that. It's just going in lines and in patterns that nothing else it does. So that tells you it's something different.
Another planet in our solar system. I was watching the thing about it, and it's been confirmed. It's like this. It only comes around I think
I've heard about it.
Yeah, 300 some odd thousand years. But it comes. It's just a planet. It just goes hella far out, and it comes right back in. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, the whole thing is they can't hide it anymore. There's no hiding anything. Think about it, in the 40s, 50s, 60s, even the 90s, early 2000s, you could hide things. Not everybody had the same technology. Nowadays, you could take your Apple phone and point it in space and look at a star. Technically, everyone can get a telescope. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't hide the stuff. That's why you're seeing more spaceships. You're seeing more IED or whatever UFOs. I'm just gonna call them UFOs. You're seeing more because everyone has a phone. We have technology. We can see it all now. They can't hide it anymore. But 3i Atlas, it's a huge ship. It's the size of Japan. And it has other ships around it, ladies and gentlemen. And it'll be here before October. You saw the one guy come out. He was like, hey, take your vacation.
October right now. You for the end of October?
Before October 29th. Go take you a vacation because it's about to get hot out here. So
you think this is the real deal right here? You really in your heart?
Bro, as soon as I saw news on it, and I talked about this a couple months ago. You remember that?
Yep.
I brought it up.
Read this story on it.
As soon as they told me, they were like, look, it's not kicking, it doesn't have a tail. I was like, oh, that's an alien spaceship.
And then just to me, that is not rotating in the correct manner that everything else is just going in a straight line. It's kind of, what's the fastest way to get somewhere?
It's coming around the sun. Well, it's supposed to come around the sun so it can use a gravitational pull to whip itself around. And the reason they realized it's a ship because it did that with Mars too. It's using the gravitational pull of these planets so it can speed itself up and go in a different direction. But they knew it wasn't a comet because it keeps changing directions. You know what I'm saying? It'll be going this way, then it'll hit, then it'll turn again. Comets don't do that. Asteroids don't do that. Alien ships do that, ladies and gentlemen. And they're keeping it on the low. But as soon as you start looking, like I had shout out to LT. I sent the same article I'm reading to you guys right now. I sent it into the group chat at work, and he's at work today looking at the computer like, yo, this is crazy. I'm like, I told you. The aliens are coming. Now, are they friendly or destructive? It don't matter. For me, if I was an alien and I didn't like this planet, I would just, grab an asteroid and throw it at the Earth. What are you going to do? Think about it. I'll throw 3 big old asteroids. It ain't even got to be that big. It'd be the size of what's a small little town? It could be the size of like Santa Barbara, bro. As long as you throw it in the ocean, massive waves. Massive way.
If this is like a real alien thing, not to keep on prolonging the subject, but
Yeah.
I think that they would have just came straight in. There's nothing we can do. If you can do what they're doing and get here, we can't even get to Mars really like that. Not with like armada of ships. We can't do it. You know what I mean? It's just not happening. So I mean, if they really wanted to come here and it was a problem, they coming straight in. They're not going to hide from us. They're not going to play any games at all whatsoever. They're going to pull up, hover in the sky. We can't even get out of our solar system. So there's that. But we found that more than.
Hold on. And there's a movie, everybody. If you ever get some time, I believe it's called Captive State. It came out in 2019. It has what's his name, the guy that played. Anyways, if you watch it, it's a science fiction thriller. Basically, the aliens came to Earth. They were so badass, they dominated. And they've been here for 20 years and they run everything. They're making the people destroy, people work in these factories and they're just destroying SD cards and all the data. So there's gonna be no pictures or nothing of you. And the aliens live underground. Just a little thing to watch while you wait for the aliens to come. Go ahead, sir.
We found that more than 170 U.S. citizens have been held by immigration agents. They've been kicked, dragged, and detained for days. When the Supreme Court recently allowed immigration agents in the Los Angeles area to take race into consideration during sweeps, Justice Brett Kavanaugh said that citizens shouldn't be concerned. If the officers learned that the individual they stopped is a U.S. citizen or otherwise lawfully in the United States, Kavanaugh wrote, they promptly let the individual go. But that is far from reality that many citizens have experienced. Americans have been dragged, tackled, beaten, tased, and shot by immigration agents. They had their necks kneeled on. They have been held outside in the rain while in their underwear. At least 3 citizens were pregnant when agents detained them. One of those women had already had the door of her home blown off while Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem watched. About 24 Americans have said they were held for more than a day without being able to phone lawyers or loved ones. Videos of U.S. citizens being mistreated by immigration agents have filled social media feeds, but there is little clarity on the overall picture. The government does not track how often immigration agents hold Americans. We compiled and reviewed every case we could find of agents holding citizens against their will, whether during immigration raids or protests. While the tally is almost certainly incomplete, we found more than 170 incidents during the first 9 months of Trump's second administration. Among the citizens detained are nearly 20 children, including 2 with cancer. That includes 4 who were held for weeks with their undocumented mother and without access to the family's attorney until a congresswoman intervened. Immigration agents do have authority to detain Americans in limited circumstances. Agents can hold people whom they reasonably suspect are in the country illegally. We found more than 50 Americans who were held after agents questioned their citizenships. They were almost all Latino. Yeah, man, this is crazy. I mean, they're saying don't get me wrong. I know people are going to look at these numbers and kind of it's just 170 people. But what if it was you? That's how you have to look at it. I've seen it happen. These are the people who they're detaining, keeping. I've seen them pulling over American citizens. Guys like, hey, I'm an American. He speaks perfect English. Black dude. It might have been like a Haitian dude. I don't know black dude, New York. And they just hold him there and got him in cuffs, got him up against the wall, got you jacked up, searching you, treating you like how they wanted. That's Gestapo tactics. That's not normal for American citizens to have to go through that. But it is normal in certain neighborhoods. So don't get it twisted. This is not normal to us. This is why I always preach to us as being black people that this is our fight. No matter how we take it or bake it, this is our fight. Because they couldn't wait to be able to stop and frisk the whole United States as far as black people go. Oh yeah, they wanted that to come out of New York. They needed that in other states. Oh, we can stop and frisk you. That's pretty much what they've given them rights to do. And detain you, beat you, kick you, drag you, and they shoot you.
Wes, let me tell you a little something about American racism, right? I don't leave I would hang out with this girl. She was white Mexican, but she passes for white. And I would just be in shock at her because we'd be going places and I'd be like, hey, you got your ID? She's like, oh no, I lost it. Don't worry, they'll let me in. I should be fine. And I'm just like, I can't hang out with you. I can't leave the house without my ID because if I get pulled over, right, and I don't have my ID or I get stopped on the street, you know what they do to me? They lock me up until they prove who I am. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Think about it. When I used to leave the store, I would leave a store with whatever I bought with the receipt hanging off the back. Why? Because I didn't want to get accused of stealing. Now I put it in my pocket. I'm a little more reckless, but I'm just saying like this, Wes. Everyone had time. We all had chances in America to stop this, and people kind of let it go because it wasn't affecting them. So I don't blame other black folks from, standing by and watch it happen, like, because it's not us that it's happening to. But a lot of people, you need to understand, a lot of y'all folks we're not going to make it out of this. This is not going to stop. Like, think about it. They're not even giving you due process. They're not giving you warrants, no due process. The cops are wearing masks. You don't even know if they're real cops. I'm surprised only that's a small number. Imagine the
jumping out of Black Hawk helicopters right now.
Yeah, imagine the women getting kidnapped and sexually assaulted. It was happening. There's a man doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to get crazier because there's no one to stop them. Y'all are too scared to stick up. I think the people that were, running up on the ICE facilities, they kind of had the right idea. I'm just saying, you're gonna have to look. They're gonna be
people who went to the No Kings protest had the right idea as well. All of this are forms of protest. Everything. The people who ran up on ICE facilities were forms of protest as well. One more time.
I drove past the No Kings protest. There's a lot of people out there. It's nice to show up. It must be nice to show up on a Saturday. Yeah, on a Saturday, we don't have to work. Nah, bro. You want to stop this? Stop working. Do a general strike. It's the only way it's gonna happen. Because if you don't work, the government doesn't get money. And if the government doesn't get money, then they don't have money to harass you. If everyone stopped working, nope, we're not going to work. Then the government can't fund themselves to terrorize you. We're funding our own terror, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it.
At the same time, the government can always print money. They can always print money to take. But what will happen is most Americans don't. I'm not saying your idea is bad. This is not to say this is a bad idea. We do need to do more. But I think the No Kings Pro, those are starts. What you're showing is numbers. What you're showing is how many people are really against you. What that does, it starts taking your Congress, whether it's your local, your local state congressperson or state senator, whatever the case may be, whether it's your U.S. representative, and it shows them that there are this many people do not agree with what's happening right now, and they know the midterms are coming up. This is coming up next year. Right now, they're running right now, pretty much going to start running right around this time for next year's midterm. That's the whole House of Representatives.
Going to shut it down anyways. People, we keep acting like we're going to have normal elections. We keep acting like U.S. is normal. Nothing.
Do you think that we should not go? You think we should not go after? You think we should not look at situations like, okay, this is since the norm has already been happening, should we just say, okay, we're not going to have elections, so we shouldn't plan for the election to happen? Is it what you're saying?
Nobody should get snatched off the street without due process. Our U.S. Army, our U.S. Navy shouldn't be blowing up ships without figuring out what's on them. Because remember, they blew up one.
I agree.
And someone said you got two choices. You either arrest the person for drug smuggling, but if they don't have drugs, then you have to give them back to their country because they're innocent. And that's
no due process. They've been given no due process. In international waters on top of that. Yeah.
There's no due process. Nothing at all. Nothing. Even like you said, 170 that have reported getting snatched off the street without due process. No warrant, no nothing. These are constitutional rights. And they're like, oh, they're violating the Constitution. The Constitution ain't shit to these motherfuckers. All right? We need to understand this. Some of you are not going to make it out of this because you're still thinking like he's going to get out of office and we're going to go back to being all hunky-dory and shit. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You either stand up now and fucking strike. Look, some of y'all motherfuckers ain't even getting paid right now. Right now. Because they want to take away your health care and raise that. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's nothing normal about any of this. They shut the government down to protect billionaire pedophiles.
It's factual, but I'm always going to look at things and say, okay, we know that normally an election does happen, so we should prepare. We should do things. These protests work. This is maybe some people's only way of being able to do this. Everyone can't say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and stop working. Where are they going to get food from? You know what I mean? Things still cost money. A lot of people don't have any money. The people who aren't working right now, imagine what they feel like. You know what I mean? Like we feeling sorry. We see that with the struggles they're going through, and we're still making money right now. So imagine you tell everybody to stop working. What do you think will happen? I understand the economy, things will collapse very quickly, and it's an overall good idea, especially if we made it, if we kind of thought it through a little bit and made sure people have places to eat. Because if we don't, there's going to be a problem. Just like next month, if these SNAP benefits do not renew for people, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a major problem in America. You guys don't understand how many people are actually are on these benefits.
His donors gave him $300 million to tear up the east wing of the White House so they can build a ballroom and dance and have cake while you get crumbs and nothing, and you're supposed to like it. General strike. You know what's gonna happen? Know what's gonna happen? Everybody stops working. The billionaires are gonna get rid of them. They'll be like, "Look, you're messing up our money now, and he needs to go." Fuck the politicians. The rich folks are the ones squeezing you. So let's squeeze them, because if you don't do it now, you're not going to be able to do it, because sooner or later they're going to have you in a system where you're just stuck anyways. But what do I know? I've just been predicting everything that's going to be that's happening right now. Have you been predicting everything that's happening right now?
This is not me laughing at you saying that you're wrong, because if they really go back and they pay attention to the page, I know we haven't been doing as much, but go back and pay attention to what we've been doing. You know what I mean? And we've been talking about this entire time. It gets exhaustive at times. You know what I mean? It seems like we're talking about the same thing over and over again, but everything we've talked about has come to fruition if you just pay attention to it. And we're going to speak about a lot more of it. I got one more of them. What about you?
No, I'm good. But remember this, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. If we don't work, we don't eat. But if we don't work, they don't eat. And they need to realize we're your servers. We're your delivery people, huh? We're your chefs. We're your garbage men, huh? We're the people that drive your goods across the country in our trucks, huh? We're your dock workers. We are the people. Don't let these billionaires and these rich folks take your livelihood from you. For what? To shit on somebody else? Red and blue states? There's red and blue people all through the states. And you're letting them separate you, and you're getting to look at how you're going right now. If you're a federal worker, you probably work with someone that's a Democrat and a Republican. It don't matter. They don't care. They're taking your money. They're stealing your retirement. They're poisoning your kids. And what are you going to do about it? General strike.
I also feel like, we look at it, man. This is the last one we're going to run through real quick. This to me, this is a pretty important thing, because this is another way. This is how authoritarianism starts, and it's already started here. It's already taken hold in our country, man. So I mean, after others departed, Pentagon announces new press corps filled with conservative news outlets. Several conservative news outlets said Wednesday that they had agreed to a new press policy rejected by virtually all legacy media organizations and will take their place in the Pentagon to cover Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and the U.S. military. The new Pentagon press corps will include Gateway Pundit, the National Pulse, Human Events, podcaster Tim Pool, the Just the News website founded by journalist John Solomon, Frontlines by Turning Point USA, Lindell TV run by MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell. The Pentagon announcement came less than a week after dozens of reporters from outlets like the New York Times, the Associated Press, CNN, and the Washington Post turned in their access badges rather than agree to a policy that journalists say will restrict them from covering the news approved by Hegseth. Hegseth spokesperson Sean Parnell announced that the next generation of the Pentagon press corps with more than 60 journalists who had agreed to the new policy. He said 26 journalists who had previously been a part of the press corps were among the signees. The department wouldn't say who any of them were, but several outlets reposted his message on X saying they had signed on. There isn't even unanimity among organizations that appeal to conservative consumers. Fox News Channel, by far the most popular news source for fans of President Donald Trump, was among the walkouts, as was Newsmax. In a post on X, Parnell denounced the self-righteous media who chose to self-deport from the Pentagon. Americans have largely abandoned digesting their news through the lens of activists who masquerade as journalists in the mainstream media, Parnell wrote. We look forward to bringing a fresh relationship with members of the new Pentagon press corps. The journalists who left the Pentagon haven't stopped working covering the U.S. military. Many have been reporting aggressively. For example, one story about strikes against boats in Central America alleged to be part of the drug trade. So, I mean, this is right here is a part of the greater problem. What they wanted to do was basically say to you, hey, if you get a story, you got to come run it through us first before you can put it out, or we're going to kick you out of here. They not only told the reporters this, they've gone and told the military, everyone in the Pentagon, everyone in the military, if you want to talk to the press, you need to come to us first. This is starting to become a point to where this lockstep sounds like North Korea, sounds like Russia, sounds like China, sounds like countries that we for years spoke about how they were restrictive, how they are not free, everything else. But this is the person who you guys have rooted for, voted for. I mean, you guys are happy to call. It's funny to you, but it's a joke to you. But most of you are angry and you hate your own lives. That's what this is really about. You want to see everyone else miserable, watching them actually lose something that they care about because you have nothing that you care about. You don't care. You don't even like being at home with your wife. You hate being at home with the people who supposedly are supposed to love you, but they don't because you're filled with hate. You disdain for everyone. You want people to starve. Oh, we don't want people to who have jobs to go back to work in the government. Let them starve. Let them go find work somewhere else. When in reality, it's going to be you who are going to be out of a job because you don't really have a skill that leads to anything that's prosperous. And that's the problem here. And so by us allowing this press corps to be taken over by the Trump administration, it's just one more step towards authoritarianism.
I look at it like this, man. We keep saying we're taking steps. I don't mean to doubt what you're saying. We are in authoritarianism, Wes.
Absolutely. Just one more step further.
I'm tired of people.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm tired of people saying? I'm like, if Obama did this, yeah. We know America's racist. Whatever. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of people saying if Obama did this, or Biden did this, to go crazy. No. Look, Donald Trump's doing it right now, and you're not saying nothing. You're making excuses. He done kicked out the press corps out of the Pentagon, so you don't know they're going to do whatever they want to do. And you're never going to figure out anything about that. You know what I'm saying? They got rid of the data about people starving in America. So when the food stamps don't come, ain't nobody going to do anything about that.
No, absolutely. I mean,
so it's kind of cooked.
But I really wanted to touch on that subject because more than anything else, we are at a point right now that there's almost no coming back from this, because what the next person is going to come and do, and they're going to see what we allowed to have happen when he was around. And the next person, I mean, this is what they're imagine if you're a potential presidential hopeful. You would be salivating like, oh my gosh, this is the kind of power I can have. This is what they allow me to do. This is okay in America. We've never seen this type of stuff from a president, never in our history. And just to look at the people who really believe this is okay, to me, I just look at you like you're the kind of person who would grovel at a person's foot because you wish because you want to be right about something, but you really know nothing. You think you're smart, but you know nothing at all about life. You really don't. You don't leave out of your little hovel. You got to go places, but you don't see anything. You know what I mean? Like
you have to realize, like most of the people, like especially when you're on X, like these people, they're not Americans. They're Russian and Chinese people and Indian people on here stoking hatred. Because when you start seeing these people at these town halls, them Republican people look pretty upset. They look pretty mad. I'm seeing they're like, yo, you betrayed us. You're lying to us. Da-da-da-da-da. They're on them. And I'm just like, it don't make no sense. I'm not seeing, and anybody that's like, you saw the one lady like, oh, you used all eating the toast. You use all your food stamps. What did you do with your October food stamps? She was talking. I don't know if you saw the video, and they found her. Her job was like, yo, we don't agree with nothing you said. I don't know if you saw the fat white lady inside the Pizza Hut talking crazy. She was like, this is America. You need to speak American. She's like, we're from Puerto Rico, and I was born here in America, but I'm Puerto Rican. Like, you should deport. And the Pizza Hut people are like, nah. And there are white folks in there. They're like, nah, we're not going to serve you. So I don't. And she was a fat lady too, bro. She was huge. She was huge. But I mean,
my gosh, man, what's wrong with you, man?
Huge and nasty. I mean, it was huge. Like she had like her arm looked like a turtle without the shit. Like it was all fat here, and it had like an arm coming out like turtle. It was disgusting. But I mean, my bad. Go back on the topic.
Oh, you're good.
We're in authoritarianism. We are an authoritarian government. The only thing to stop him from being a dictator is because the news don't want to admit it. When you can snatch people off the street without due process, we're in authoritarianism. When you can squash the news, and make it so the news not going to get out there, we're in authoritarianism. When you can blow up ships of foreign people and not even prove that there's drugs on it, we're in authoritarianism. And when you forgot, when you can lock up a man, an American citizen, and give him a $2 million bond because he posted the same words that Donald Trump said online in a meme, we're in authoritarianism. Look it up. It happened. Yeah. $2 million bond for posting a meme online.
I wonder if that man's still in jail.
He is. He's in. I just saw the article today. Still in jail. Who's bailing him out? And ladies and gentlemen, he's a white man. White man. Like an old 50, 60-year-old white man just posted a meme with the picture of Donald Trump and what he said, and they locked him up in jail. And his bond's $2 million. You can fight that? You can fight that?
With $2 million bond. I mean, that you're going to lose everything. That's pretty much what they're going to set. They're setting him up for, to make sure he loses everything. It's been 276 days since the occupation began, and I don't know how much longer that we have until we go into all out authoritarianism, or we get into some type of a civil war. Who knows? Who's to say? But we'll be here, and we'll be reporting more to you guys. We'll make sure that we get on these stories a lot more, because this is getting bad.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's going to do anything but get worse.
A lot of
good
stuff.
to see you, Mac.
Yeah, you too, Wes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Uncommon Courtesy. Until next time.